I thought they were fabulous. I mean, the difficulty in us at the beginning was that we're in Wagga and Think we're in Sydney. I had initial reservations about that, but to Think's credit, they handled that, the distance remarkably well. The whole process, given that we're 450 k's away, went remarkably well.
Think National was a company that we set up to fit a little niche market in pharmacy and medical centre fit-outs. To do that, we've had designers, for example, that have been involved with the pharmacy industry only for like 20 odd years.
We try to create a holistic approach to the design process. It'll always start with a design brief where we actually come face to face with the client, go through all of their wish lists, what they hope to achieve out of the pharmacy, what services they hope to provide, and then what kind of the demographic they have as well. So that will be the initial design brief. From there we'll do some concept designs, come up with the first drawing set, we'll discuss those, we'll make changes to those. The process from there gets into a lot more detail in the construction side and what's actually going to be happening in behind each of those counters and the joinery, and we really try to put a lot of focus onto the workflow, especially in the dispensary, how that dispensary works with the consult rooms, where the customers are going to enter the store, where they're going to go to get their scripts filled, and how the interaction between the pharmacist and those customers works as well.
We were lucky, we had a blank canvas. The store that we moved into in Wagga was literally an empty box, so we were able to manage that while we ran our own store directly across the road. In some ways that made things a little bit easier. We weren't trying to trade around a renovation, or we weren't having to make the place customer friendly while we were building. We had a blank space, which meant the whole design process was great. We were able to start from scratch and basically build a pharmacy from the ground up.
It is a long process because we really like to get into the nitty-gritty of the design and find a complete solution to what the pharmacists are after. So it can take about 14 weeks, and that means you get right into that detail. So there's a lot of back and forth, I guess, making sure that you do get the right outcome at the end of the day.
The renovations I had done in the past were basically just paint and carpet, and this one was a fair bit bigger than that. So my expectations were that it was going to be a very difficult process. Basically waved goodbye to the wife and kids for a while and said, I'm not going to see you for a few months. And that's not what happened at all. To credit to Elise, who did most of the design work for it, that she was able to pull that off and make it a lot less stressful for me. I'm a bit too hands-on for my own good sometimes, so it was really nice to have assistance from someone that was very calm.
We've also putting together a project management system that will really enhance what we do with the design. We can actually go to a client and actually get them the best price, best market price at the time.
We were able to use some local tradespeople, which was really important for me, having a business in Wagga, that we used some local guys. The senior project people from Think were here in Wagga regularly and managed to whip all the local tradies into line and get them to do their job. The fittings, fabulous. We just love them. It's easy to keep clean. The shop, I think, presents really well. Our first design meeting way back 5 months before we opened was that we wanted a pharmacy that was white and clinical, medical sort of looking, and I think that's exactly what we've got. So our old pharmacy, we basically worked out of a wardrobe for our consulting, and with pharmacy developing the way it is, I was really keen to have multiple consulting rooms and bigger consulting rooms. Thankfully, Elise and the guys at Think were on the same page. They've got a great understanding of how pharmacy works, and particularly how that junction between dispensing and consulting room works. Elise actually understood that right from the word go and knew pretty much exactly what I had in mind, and I think I've obviously had a lot of involvement with pharmacies and medical practices. They have an understanding of how those spaces work. Elise and Jared were both fantastic to me because I said this to both of them at times, I kept seeing problems and they kept seeing solutions, and that's a credit to them. I thought that whole process went really well.